Hello guys, today I want to do a fact file on the assassination of JFK. The assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, 35th President of the United States on November 22nd, 1963, remains one of the most defining events of the 20th century. The shooting in Dallas, Texas, before thousands of onlookers, was also captured by TV cameras and in home movies, yet in the minds of many, much about what happened that day remains shrouded in mystery. President Kennedy's alleged killer, Lee Harvey Oswald, was himself shot and killed while cameras rolled just 2 days later. Why Oswald shot Kennedy and wounded Texas Governor John Connally, and whether he acted alone or was part of a wider conspiracy, has been the subject of official inquiries in countless films, books and newspapers and magazine articles over the past 50 years. The internet has also become fertile ground for speculation and allegations of involvement by the Mafia, the Russians, the Cubans and even Vice President Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy. So here are the facts. The year before Kennedy was shot, the US State Department lent Oswald, a former Marine, $435.71 in travel expenses to return to the United States after 3 years of living in Russia. In 1959, Oswald sought Soviet citizenship, telling US embassy officials in Moscow, "I am a Marxist." He married a Russian woman in Minsk and the pair had a daughter in early 1962, before Oswald successfully applied to become an American citizen with his new family. On November 22nd, 1963, Oswald was working for the Texas Book Depository Company, a private firm which distributed textbooks to public schools in parts of Texas and Oklahoma. It was alleged he fired 3 shots at Kennedy with a mail-order rifle from an open window on the 6th floor of the depository. He hid the gun, bought a soft drink from a vending machine and left the building. The limousine Kennedy was riding in at the time of the assassination was a 1961 Lincoln Continental 4-door convertible, codenamed the X100. After it was examined for evidence following the shooting in Dallas, Texas, the X100 was overhauled, cleaned and returned to the service of the White House in the mid-1964. It continued to carry precedence until the early 1977 and is now on display at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. Oswald was arrested in a Texas movie theatre less than 90 minutes after Kennedy's shooting. The film that was screening was called War is Hell. It was billed on being about iron guts guys in action who killed for medal, dames or just to stay alive. Vice President Lyndon Johnson told CBS newsman Walter Cronkite in 1969 that he did not discount the possibility Kennedy's death was the work of a foreign power. "I can't honestly say that I've ever been completely relieved of the fact that there might have been international connections," he said. Johnson requested the comment be removed from the interview for national security reasons, and it only aired after his death.
I can't honestly say that I've ever been completely relieved of the fact that there might have been international connections.
You mean you still feel that there might have been?
Well, I have not completely discounted.
Oswald was charged with killing Kennedy and a police officer named John Tippit. On November 24th, Oswald was himself shot by nightclub operator Jack Ruby while being transferred from the city jail to Dallas County Jail. Oswald was taken to the same Parkland hospital which had received Kennedy less than 48 hours earlier, but was pronounced dead a short time later. Ruby was convicted of Oswald's murder in 1964 despite a plea of insanity. Ruby developed lung cancer in prison and died in January 1967, also at Parkland Hospital. In 1964, the report from the President's Commission on the Assassination of President Kennedy, chaired by Supreme Court Chief Justice Earl Warren from the Warren Commission, found the shots which killed Kennedy were fired from Oswald and that he acted alone. It also found Oswald's wounded Texas Governor John Connally and killed Tippit while evading arrest. Earl Warren was a former Republican governor of California and the GOP's 1948 Vice President nominee. A 1979 US House Committee inquiry found Kennedy was probably assassinated as a result of a conspiracy and that there was a high probability a second gunman as well as Oswald fired at the president. The committee did not believe that the Soviet government, Cuban government, the FBI or the CIA or the Secret Services were involved in the assassination. The committee also concluded that there was no evidence to conclude anti-Castro Cuban groups or a national syndicate of organised crime were involved, but said that they did not conclude the possibility that individual members of either may have been involved. Alternate theories about the event of November 22nd, 1963 persist. 1979 House inquiry fueled theories of a second gunman and a wider conspiracy. Before his death in 2007, one of the Watergate burglars, former CIA agent E. Howard Hunt, alleged Lyndon Johnson was involved in the conspiracy to kill Kennedy. It says Oswald's intended target was Governor Connolly, not President Kennedy. Perhaps more intriguing, new analysis of the graphic home movie footage of the assassination shot by Abraham Zapruder also concluded that at one point his camera stopped, crucial frames were missing, and that the first of 3 bullets fired by Oswald was deflected by a street sign. Kennedy was the 4th US president to be assassinated. Others include Abraham Lincoln in 1865, James Garfield in 1881, and William McKinley in 1901. America's 29th president, Warren G. Harding, later revealed to have been a corrupt philanderer, was widely rumoured to have been poisoned by his wife in 1923. Coincidentally, Lincoln and Kennedy, who were elected 100 years apart, were both succeeded by vice presidents named Johnson. Andrew Johnson became America's 17th president in 1865, and Lyndon Johnson became the 36th president in 1963. I've always had a theory that the driver shot JFK, and here is another guy with a video of the proof of that. Watch it till the end, watch the video, and please like and share this, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Till next time, stay fresh and funky, my friends.
Only a matter of minutes before he arrives at the trademark. I was on Simmons Freeway earlier, and even the freeway was jam-packed with spectators waiting their chance to see the president as he made his way toward the trademark. It appears as though something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route. There's numerous people running up the hill alongside Elm Street, there by the Simmons Freeway. Several police officers are rushing up the hill at this time. Stand by just a moment, please. Something has happened in the motorcade route. Stand by, please. Parkland Hospital, there has been a shooting. Parkland Hospital has been advised to stand by for a severe gunshot wound. I repeat, a shooting in the motorcade in the downtown area. Parkland Hospital has been advised to stand by for a severe gunshot wound. The president's car is now going past me. The limousine is now traveling at a very high rate of speed. Secret Service men standing up in the limousine. They are armed with submachine guns. It appears as though someone in the limousine might have been hit by the gunfire. Put me on, Phil. Put me on.
I can remember where I was on that fatal day on November 22nd, 1963. It was a day I will always remember. It was the day President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I was a young kid in school. But it wasn't until I was much older that I was able to examine the evidence. President Kennedy was gunned down in a triangular crossfire in Dealey Plaza. It was William Greer, the presidential limo driver, who fired the fatal shot. Rat-tat-tat. That's just the way it is. My mama didn't raise no fool. And when you look at all the JFK assassination evidence, the facts become crystal clear. It was George Herbert Walker Bush who was photographed minutes after the assassination in front of the Texas Book Depository, not long after the killing of the president. So George Herbert Walker Bush, let's take a walk down memory lane. You've got a lot of explaining to do, because you weren't in Tyler, Texas at a luncheon on that day. You were part of a conspiracy to kill the President of the United States. My mama didn't raise no fool. You wanted to become president in a sleazy way, so you took the easy way. You were greedy. You wanted to get paid, and that's just the way it is. And George, as a reminder, there's no statute of limitations on murder. That's just the way it is.